Lauren, happy birthday.
Thank you.
93.
I
I call BS on that. I know better than that. Happy birthday, and here it is. Here we go. Year 8. Time flies when you're having fun, and it's a great opportunity, and get this season started with a new group and a lot of fresh faces. It's very nice. We had great news this week to have Tommy finally cleared. That's been kind of the elephant in the room is getting that that final piece done. So big thanks to our compliance staff for their excellent work. Orlando, just being day to day, very diligent in his efforts with that. And, it was great to see him on the court in the Ole Miss game. 2 drastically different scrimmages. But I think they're both informative and very, very educational in terms of learning. Obviously, one at home, one on the road. Played 11 guys in each of those. Didn't get real in depth in scouting. Didn't scout at all in the first one. Just tried personnel. Made very few changes in either one of them that we would probably do in a normal game. But again, working on combinations, we had some guys that kind of flip-flopped, played good in one and not so good in another, and it's everything with this group is going to be very educational. A lot of first times, for guys putting on a uniform and playing in front of a crowd. A lot of them first times for playing in the United States. So good to get that out of the way. Now it's an Eastern team that is extremely well coached. I have a few guys back from last year's game. We'll be we know we're getting a team that's going to play extremely hard. They're one of the top teams in their conference in forcing turnovers. They've got a guy who got a double-double against us last year. So they're going to be well coached. Marty does an incredible job of preparing his teams, and they're quick, they're athletic, and again defensively, be a great challenge. As we turned it over a bunch against Ole Miss, we did not in the Butler, but we'll see a lot of athleticism and quickness with Eastern.
Brad, what do you want to emphasize in practice this week, and how did that ultimately go, just with the team getting ready?
Yeah, I think we were trying to find some grit and some bite on the defensive side. I thought we were very passive on the ball. I think we have the ability to have Draven and Kylan and Trey White and guys like that can just really get after the basketball. We were just really passive. Obviously, their 5 men hit a bunch of threes in the Ole Miss one, but we made no adjustments for a reason. We've got to be better, gritty and grimy and nasty on the ball and tougher, and just careless turnovers. We played too fast after makes, if that makes sense. And we just committed some egregious turnovers, which I think they had 18 points and live ball turnovers, which is an egregious amount. But, we emphasize that, and we'll see if that's better tomorrow.
I mean, it's obviously a small sample size, just the one scrimmage, one exhibition, but what more do you know about your team now than you did day one of practice, I guess, in September?
Well, I think that I think it's a good shooting team, has the ability to be a really good shooting team. I think we've felt very comfortable with that. I think we have a lot of pieces. We're still trying to figure out all the right moves and the right fits. Been very, very pleased with the way guys have improved. Really, in the last week, we've had some guys make some major jumps. I think it's been it's now time to put fans. It'll be another new experience tomorrow in front of our home fans and sellout crowd and play a home game. So it's time to start putting some of those things together and seeing again how guys react. But I think we've been improving and been pretty good.
It seemed like KJ had a lot of ball handling opportunities. Do you think he's somebody that wants to step up and lead this offense just at 18 years old?
He's done it his whole life. It's not something he's new at. He's done it his whole life. He's a terrific passer. He's a great facilitator. He's as gifted a young guy in ball screens as anybody we've had for sure. But maybe that's out there. He's just he's big. He's 6'6" and 205, 210, and is he going to make some mistakes? Absolutely. Are we going to live with him? Absolutely. Is he going to grow? Absolutely. And is he really good? Yes. Excuse me, guys. Sorry about that.
How much will you be looking for veterans, guys that have played a lot of college basketball, to step up early, maybe lead the way for the young guys who are in a new territory?
Yeah, absolutely. A ton. Experience, it doesn't matter where you're at. We have a group of guys, Ben, Trey, Kylan, that have those three guys, Kerry, four guys that have all played in college games. That experience isn't with us, but it's college basketball experience. It's playing in great environments, playing against really good competition, seeing different schemes and different defenses. It's their knowledge, it's their understanding that we're going to lean on. We can't make decisions for them. I think our team has an ability to be a very, very quick problem solver. We've got some very high IQ guys, but leadership is and experience is a valuable piece for us.
With Tommy getting cleared, what kind of versatility does his skill set bring to the lineup?
Well, he's 7'1", 260. We'll start at the defensive side. He's got length. He's a very smart player. He's an imposing. He can be a wall. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. He can be a wall. And rebounding it. He's had some big rebounding games throughout his career. Offensively, he's a buffet line. He can pass it. He can step out and shoot threes. He's been percentage-wise a very, very effective player shooting it. He's a guy that can go right hand, left hand in the post. But his versatility, we hope, causes other teams problems. And then on the other side of it, he's a very, very good runner. He finds easy baskets because of his ability to run. So, very excited about his upside and being able to do some different things with him.
Heard a number of times that the adjustment for Europeans to the U.S. game is it's, quote, more physical. How do you see that playing out? How do you help them, if at all, in that?
I think it's just the opposite. I think it's much less physical. I think what's one of the issues we've had to dial down is the physicality, especially at the guard spot. You watch a lot of EuroLeague games, and they just grab you, and they don't call it illegal screens. They don't do a lot of that over there, and it's been one of the things that we've worked very, very hard on with both those guys is to not foul. Now, on the other side of things, KJ. He could be one of those guys that could be one of the top guys in the conference and fouls drawn. He gets fouled a ton. He draws a lot of fouls. He always has. He's been a high free throw attempt guy throughout his EuroLeague career and his European experience. So, there's adjustments. It's just been a little bit different.
As you said, Coach, Marty's teams do tend to turn teams over quite a bit. Is that a good first matchup for you when
Sure.
when your biggest thing you want to work on is cleaning those up?
Yeah, it's crazy because against Butler, we didn't. We had, I think, for as long as we scrimmaged, I think we had 7. We just didn't. So, Yeah, you got to have ball protection, light ball turnovers, and most of them were in transition. Most of them were just really careless. But they do a great job of raking. They're in gaps. They're going to make catch and passes hard. So they play in a lot of rotation. They're going to get after ball screens and do some things there. So yeah, protecting the ball and being having a little pride in taking care of that ball is something that we've talked a lot about here since Ole Miss.
You've talked about the defense. Maybe you want just a little more aggressive. Since that Ole Miss loss, have you seen practice be maybe a little more intense between the players?
Yeah, we finally got really, really competitive. We still haven't had a fight in practice yet, which, that's disappointing. But that's probably not happening in today's world too much. But just getting after people, making somebody better, making the guy you're guarding better, but knowing you still love him and you're still a teammate. Those are all things that we've seen this week. And and I think Draven, I think Bam, Kylan, we call him Bam. So I think those guys can be so elite. Bam can be the best on-ball defender in college basketball. He's so strong. He's so powerful. He should never have a problem getting over a ball screen with his strength. I personally think he could be one of the best we've ever had at it, and we've had some darn good ones. So just being able to do that, put a little pressure, take a little comfort, play with our hands better. We were my goodness, we work on a drill every day, closeouts, throwing our hands up, and we didn't even put our hands up at Ole Miss. I think we were so nervous and uptight that we just forgot. But just little things like that, and that's game slippage, and we had a lot of it.
Minus the walk-ons, you played 11 guys at Ole Miss. Do you still plan to keep rotation that big or tighten it up a little bit?
Good question. I'm going to play to win this one. I don't want to say I didn't give two rips. I was going to play 11 guys in those two scrimmages in each half. I was going to play guys, and I needed to figure a few things out. When you're playing to win, you keep your best five and at that time on the court as much as you can, and whatever helps you do that. So we'll see what that rotation looks like, and maybe it is. I think we're a little bit deeper, but we're gonna try to put the right five out there.
You mentioned earlier playing a little too fast off makes, but is there times where you do want this team to play faster and push the pace a little bit? What do you emphasize as far as that goes?
Yeah, I mean we've always been an under 7 seconds team, in particular off misses. I think one of the things that we've got a great group in Draven, Kylan, Trey White's exceptional. Ty Rogers, I think all those guys are elite at defensive rebounding and pushing in transition. Ben is another one that we want to do that. But if we don't have it, then we've got to be able to flow quickly into offense. And we just threw cross court bounce passes in transition and fumbled the ball off our knee and some crazy ones. But we want this team to play with tempo. We want to shoot threes when we're open, and it's a strength of ours.
This is the third straight season that you've started against EIU. Is that just going to be a thing from now on, or how do you get that game scheduled every year?
Well, I think we know the AD. I think we feel pretty good about the fact that he's one of us. He's a guy that obviously we're excited about. Games. So good for them, so good for us. It's close. It's I'm a big fan of Marty's. Obviously, Jeff Alexander worked for him, so there's a huge connection there as well. And those are the type of games that you like helping your people out and helping friends out. And then the other side of it, we know that we're running into a team that's going to be very disciplined and extremely well coached. So. Great challenge for us.
Thomas Love looked awfully good against Ole Miss. Why is it a big deal that he's is eligible, and what's kind of his ceiling for you this year? You think?
Well, I think you just said it. He's pretty good. You know what? I think his ceiling's as high as he can make it. I think every night's a learning experience. And you know, I asked him the other day. I said, how'd you feel out there? And you know, he goes, "Oh, it was fun, coach. It was fun." And I said, "Were you nervous?" And he said, "Not anymore." And he goes, "First game in America, I was a little bit nervous. You know, I'm trying to put a deep Eastern accent on him, but I can't do it with a cold." But he is hilarious. But he has fun playing. He got through some of the anxiety of that against a really good team, and you know, I think he's got a chance to be a terrific player.
You've talked about exploring combos. I know against Ole Miss we saw KJ, Kylan, and Dre out there at one time. You've talked about positional size, but do you like having three guards? How have you seen that?
Yeah, that's why we had to look at it. You know, I think there's times you're going to see that. There's no doubt. I think you know, I think one of the great things about KJ, and we talk a lot about his offense, is you know, as a freshman, he may be as good defensively as any freshman guard we've had. He's positionally very smart. He's so strong, and you know, we can really get after people with those three out there. You know, Draven was exceptional. Draven played so well against Ole Miss, and it was nice to see him get going offensively, and we know that he's capable of that. So I think that's you know, I think those are three guys you can see out there some, and yet you know, we've got to make sure we got the right fours and front court guys out there as well. Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow night.